Hey y'all, this is Brianna Nicole, and today I have a story time for you guys about ectopic pregnancies. Whether you are experiencing an ectopic pregnancy, have experienced, or you're just curious, I'm here to give you a little information. I have a disclaimer. I am not a doctor. I am not at all. I'm just giving you guys my experience. I've talked to about maybe 4 women who've experienced the same thing as me. Our symptoms were somewhat similar. So if you are going through this, I'm hoping that I can give you a little light. Back in 2018, I had my first pregnancy. An ectopic pregnancy is a very abnormal thing, okay? It was supposed to be a rare thing that's now becoming more common. Is when the egg fertilizes in an abnormal place. Mine so happened to be in my left fallopian tube. So the pregnancy actually started in my left fallopian tube. All the symptoms that you think you will get with an ectopic, if you Google an ectopic, you're going to see pain on your side, dizziness, lightheadedness, things of that nature. I did not receive any of those symptoms. I was about 11 days late on my period, so I took a pregnancy test. It was negative. And I just continued. 21 days later, it was still, my period was missing in action. So I took another test. It was positive. At this point, I hadn't bled. I hadn't did anything. My boobs weren't sore like the norm. And then, out of nowhere, I actually started spotting. This is after I took a positive pregnancy test, though. But I was spotting brown. No red at all. It was all brown. And I know that brown is old blood. So I assumed, okay, my period's coming. I don't know. I went to the doctor after taking 6 pregnancy tests. I'm talking name brand, 6 of them. So they all read pregnant, said pregnant, whatever. I told my whole family, went to the doctor, took a test. They came back and said, you're not pregnant. My boyfriend was looking at me like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I took 6 tests. I was very embarrassed. And I kept telling the doctor, I said, I don't understand, So I went back home and I started to get these excruciating cramps. And I said, well, maybe I'm not pregnant. Because I'm like, okay, my period's coming. It was starting to feel like my period was actually coming. But in my heart, I knew something was wrong. So I went back to the doctor. I made them give me a blood test. Because in my heart, I just knew something wasn't right. The doctor still thought I was crazy. Called me back the next day and told me that I was expecting. And I was very excited at that point. I was nervous. Then I was very excited. I even set up baby classes and everything. So, and when I say baby classes, I mean like what to expect classes. That gives you what you can eat, what you cannot eat. It was so exciting for me. So I did that, and I made an appointment with my OB, and she looked at me. She said, it's a 1% chance that you're having an ectopic. She was like, she showed me my sonogram, and she said, it's a 1% chance. But in my heart, I was nervous because I was still bleeding. Every 5 seconds, I would Google, like, what's this mean? What does that mean? And the nurses on call would be like, if you're not bleeding heavy, if you're not soaking through a pad, and I wasn't doing any of that. It was very light brown spotting. That was pretty much it. I didn't have any pain. I had cramps in my low abdomen as if I was coming on my period, but I never got anything to tell me this is not normal, this is an ectopic. I had 3 ultrasounds. Nothing showed in my ultrasounds but a cyst on my left ovary. No, excuse me, my right ovary. And I was told that was normal. Eventually, nothing. I was getting blood drawn every 48 hours. Usually when they suspect something abnormal going on with you, you do get a blood draw every 48 hours just to make sure that your HCG is going up. Mine was going up for a few weeks. I was very excited. My boyfriend and I just knew we were going to be parents. Next thing you know, I went to the doctor. And if you've experienced this, this is heartbreaking. This is heart-wrenching, actually, to sit in a doctor's office and wait to get your blood drawn. And how can I put it? Wait to get your blood drawn, and you don't know what to expect, especially when you're going to be a new mom. My blood had dropped. My levels had dropped like maybe I could say maybe over 1,000. I knew at that point that something was wrong. I didn't know what was going on. I wasn't used to this. But the doctor said I'm expecting an ectopic. If you go to the doctor, ladies, and they give you a shot, okay, it was a shot used for cancer patients. Methotrexate is the name. Google it, look it up, do your research. There's women who have had ectopics who have had a healthy pregnancy, but it's very risky. You can die, and so can your child, or you both just can die, and so your tube can burst. I kept hearing that your tube's gonna burst, your tube's gonna burst. So I decided to get a methotrexate shot one time, and my buttocks. I was stressed, crying my eyes out, but I got the shot to terminate the pregnancy. So I thought, I'm not pregnant anymore, right? Still felt weird, guys. I was still pregnant the whole time. I got a methotrexate shot again for the second time, y'all. For the second time. That didn't work. So at this point, I went to the second OBGYN. I'm like, okay, let me get a second opinion on this, because this pregnancy's still not terminating. Something is off. And I was told, you get a methotrexate shot, the pregnancy won't be normal because now your baby has these chemicals and just all type of stuff. So I had hope, but I didn't want to have too much hope. So after getting those shots, guys, I was like, okay, let me keep it pushing. Let me keep it moving. I was so excited about being a mom. I didn't drink. I love to drink. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything negative. I drank a lot of water. I ate healthy because I knew it was still a life inside of me. I didn't know that it was in my left tube. I was at Walmart. I was supposed to have tacos that night, and I was pushing the cart. And I remember feeling a very weird, sharp pain on my left side where I almost dropped to the ground. My boyfriend was in front of me, and he thought I was acting weird, and I told him, I have to go to the car. You finish shopping, I gotta go to the car. I started crying in Walmart, and I get bad cramps on my actual period, but this was a different type of pain. It was a weird pain. So I said, okay, I have to go sit in the car. So I did. I continued to cry my eyes out. At this point, out of a 10, the pain was maybe only at an 8. It kept rising and rising and rising. He came out with the groceries, drove me to the hospital. He thought I was just being a worry ward, like I usually was, because I made him take me to the hospital every other day. And as soon as I found out I was pregnant, we were in the ER every other day because I kept getting weird symptoms, weird experiences, all type of things like that. So went to the ER, y'all. Didn't even wait. Got put in a wheelchair and went straight to the back. They gave me an ultrasound. OB came in and looked at me. She said, your stomach is filling up with blood and you have to have emergency surgery immediately. It was 1 a.m. I had about 10 clients, hair clients, scheduled that week. All I cared about was the money. I thought, I'm about to lose all this money. Forgetting like, okay, you could die, you know? So she said to me, she said, it's gonna be 3 incisions only if you need them. Normally, it can be 2 incisions. Long story short, I had to get 3 incisions because, like I said, my stomach is filling up with blood. I now have 3 keloids on my stomach. I'll show them to you guys later. Scars that remind me, you know, of my situation. But I woke up, I was groggy. I wanted to stay at the hospital. I was so groggy. When you get that surgery, y'all, you're going to be so groggy when you wake up. You won't want to stay with it. Wherever you're at, you're not going to want to get up. You're not going to want to walk or anything. Listen to the doctor when they tell you to stay still. I was out of work for 2 weeks, and you need to be. Because when your stomach is healing, your body, your mental, your physical, everything. So, yeah. I'm still at a loss for words, guys, because I lost my left fallopian tube. when you have an ectopic pregnancy, sometimes they can kind of get rid of the pregnancy and they can save your tube. They had to take my whole tube away. So here I am feeling like half of a woman because you're supposed to have 2 tubes and I only have 1. It lowers your chances of getting pregnant, but it doesn't stop it. So please don't feel discouraged. If you are looking to get pregnant, even if you have no tubes, there's always an option. You can get in vitro. That's option number 1. You can save your money. You can cut out costs. You can do whatever. Option number 2, you can get a surrogate and it'll still be your child. So option number 1. Option number 2, you don't need all the tubes are doing is carrying that baby into the uterus and implanting it. Okay, without tubes, you just get the in vitro and then you get it implanted right away. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it's successful, and sometimes it's not. Okay, so if that's not successful, some women get pregnant again in their other tube, ruin their other tube, and then they say, okay, let me try in vitro. So all else fails, you could do a surrogate. I mean, I know these things cost money, but you have to stay positive. You have to stay grounded, guys, because this right here can mess with your mental. It can just mess you up bad. Like, and I hope you feel where I'm coming from, y'all. The women who are thinking that they're going through this, if you have that intuition, your intuition is never wrong, okay? So please listen to that intuition. You do not want to lose your life. So your life is very valuable, and you might feel like less of a woman because you might not be able to do something. You know, I still have my right to, and I'm very scared. You're going to have a lot of fear in your heart after having a failed pregnancy. It's not a miscarriage. A miscarriage happens every day. An ectopic is way deeper than a miscarriage, in my opinion, depending on how far you were along in your miscarriage. Because, you know, it was one of the most scariest things I've ever been through in my life. But I'm not giving up, and I'm always going to keep hope. And you have to look in the mirror, guys, and you have to say, I will be a mother. It's just not my time. Manifestation is real. You speak negative, negative will happen. You speak positive, positive will happen. So basically, the whole point of my video is to shed light on having an ectopic and to also give you encouragement if you are experiencing an ectopic or you have just recently or anything like that. I hope I'm not talking too much, but I guess that's the point of this story time. Listen, just know at that time it wasn't meant. So don't feel ashamed and don't feel down. You have more things to accomplish in life. If that's how I look at it, y'all. And I'll never forget, a doctor looked at me and she said, you just have a case of bad luck. Because ectopics can come from too many abortions. It can come from PID, pelvic inflammatory disease. It can come from STD that is not cured. I haven't had any of that. So it was really a case of bad luck at that time. But looking back on it, it wasn't meant. I still get sad around the time that it happened to me because time heals all wounds, but some things take a little longer to heal. So, like I said, it still gives me speechless because I'm giving you guys advice on something that I've overcame. I'm still hurting from it, but I've overcame it. So, like I said, once again, if you feel like you have any of these symptoms, please, please, please get help. Okay, a man will never understand. They may be the father, they can grieve in their own way, but as a woman, we unite. As women, we unite. So, and don't put your body through constant stress. Please don't. Don't try the next day or whatever the heck. You know, give yourself some time. Mental, physical, and maybe even spiritual. I hope this video helped someone that's doubting about themselves or anything like that. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. I can answer all questions. Like I said, I'm not a medical professional, but I can give you my experience. I'm just happy that I made it out alive. And to all my ectopic pregnancy survivors, I hope that you do have a rainbow baby in the near future. And those who don't know what a rainbow baby is, After a failed pregnancy, a healthy baby comes. Whether you have 3 failed pregnancies and then you get your rainbow, after every storm, there's a rainbow. And I do believe that. And I love you all. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day.